Hello there. I trust you're good and you've been doing well. I just wanted to briefly share today about publication journey. Sometimes when you submit a journal article for publication in academic journals or with publishers, academic publishers, it's not always a straightforward journey. Sometimes there are challenges here and there. Our last article took 2 years, 2 years and about a month. And the way it can be quite taxing, it can be quite trying, let me say. And it's always good to have this in mind when you submit an article for publication, so that you're not discouraged. You're not wondering what happened, what happened with my article and all that. So I want to actually share that article and just show you how this happened. So this article, this is my Google Scholar portal or platform where I archive, I share, I keep all my published articles. And it's always good to have one if you're an academic, if you're someone in research and publications, because it always helps keep tab, and people can always check your areas of specialization and what you have published in. And it's always good for your research journey and your portfolio, so to speak. And of course, you also have opportunity to put there your co-authors, some of the people you've worked with. So this article, you can see, published 2022. So I keep adding them. When I publish, I come and add the article. So this is the article. It's talking about women contestants and the slogans or the kind of language that they were using in their campaign. This is focused on Kenya, our country. And the last election, not really the last, the 2017 elections, and how women were using slogans to try and, position themselves during campaigns. And it's a very interesting article, and it's actually open access, so you can always just open it up and read it. And it was co-published with my colleague and boss, Dr. Dimba, who's the Dean at School of Humanities and Social Sciences at Strathmore University. And this article, when we first submitted it, within about a month, let's say a month, let me just say a month, it was accepted with minor corrections. And you said, they said it's a very interesting article, work on these minor revisions and then submit it for publication. But then that was never to be. We worked on the corrections for that 1 month, and diligent reviewers, diligent as people were interested in publishing, we submitted the corrections, the report, and the revised article, and we were hoping, in the next 1 other month, we will have our article up and running. But that was never to be. I think once they received the revisions, the reviewers who had looked at the article in the first place were not available. So they had to source for another set of reviewers. Remember that when people are doing article review, it's always a pro bono job. The people are not paid for it. So that set of reviewers were, I think there were about 3, they were not available. So they had to look for another one. And these ones came with even major corrections, about the article. And it was quite discouraging at first, because you look at it was minor corrections. Now you have major corrections and even more comments to work on. But anyway, we worked on the corrections, we worked on the comments and submitted. And I don't know whether, again, they were not available or something, but it just kept dragging. And I think we received another set of comments. I'm not sure whether it was the same or another group. And at some point, trust me, we were almost giving up. In fact, I kept checking with my co-author that should we continue with this journey, we should just abandon it and look for, because you can always write to the journal and tell them, we're sorry, please withdraw our application or our submission. We want to submit it to another journal. But then we decided, okay, we've come this far. It's been a year down the line. Let's just keep going. Because now you see, the trying thing is sometimes you submit it and it's taken that long, a year, and then you want to try, and then it takes another year in another journal. So sometimes probably the best thing might be just to wait. And that's what we did. Waited, kept prompting them. And finally, 11th August, you can see the article history here. Received 17 July 2020. Received in revised form 18 September 2020. So that means within a span of 2 months, we had worked on comments and resubmitted. And then accepted 11 August 2022. 2 years and about a month later. So what I just encourage the lessons here is that sometimes it can take that long to work on an article, or rather to between the submission and the acceptance by a journal. And it's always good to have this in mind so that when you're submitting, especially for PhD students who might be having timelines, you need to graduate by this time, and by that time you need to showcase your work, what have you published. So in fact, it's normally advisable if you're a PhD student, don't complete working on your manuscript or your thesis, data analysis, and then now you begin the submission, because that, imagine if it's to take that 2 years, you might really be tempted to publish in a predatory journal, which is not good for your academic work. So I'd really encourage that as you begin your PhD journey or your research journey, begin making submissions early, and in as much as journals normally indicate that this is our time span between submission and acceptance, some will say we'll respond first. Within 2 months, we'll have given you the first set of comments. But then again, depending on the comments and depending on the reviewers, it's not always guaranteed that that time span they have given, if it is 6 months, because they normally just talk about the first set of comments they will give you is within maybe like 2 months, but they will not tell you that until publication it takes this. They may give an average time, but it's not always guaranteed that it will take that time. So is this a good journal that I would still submit to? Yes. Alien is a good Elsevier journal. I would still submit to it. Others that I have submitted to have been good. So I'm not saying that this is the issue with the journal. It was just a unique case that happened to this article. So plan in advance, if you're a PhD student, if you're just any other academic, you're already done with your PhD or you're still yet to work on it and you're interested in publishing, just know that this journey requires patience, and the submission and the conclusion might take time. So be prepared for that. Otherwise, thanks so much. Good to have you here. We'll still be sharing more about the journal publication journey, which will be useful. Cheers.